Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is January 23rd, 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an apocalyptic Defcon level event and or a Cbrn related event, that's chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear event in the United States or elsewhere in the world prior to the date of the Super Bowl on February 9th of 2025. So exactly what type of attack is planned is obviously not known, but it appears that the CIA plans on staging an attack or terror event by Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, North Korea, or some Islamic terror groups such as ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, etc., in the United States or elsewhere, specifically to trigger World War III. So basically what's happening right now is Donald J. Trump was just sworn into office on January 20th of 2025, and he already negotiated a hostage deal with the Israeli-backed Hamas terrorists in Israel to end the Israeli-Gaza war, and he is in the process of ending the Russo-Ukrainian war. And so what the CIA and especially NATO and the neocons in Washington, D.C. are absolutely desperate to stage a DEFCON level event in the United States or elsewhere to basically take the world to a World War III setting. So this is just conjecture, but I believe that in the aftermath of a 9/11 level type event in the United States or elsewhere prior to the date of the Super Bowl on February 9th of 2025, Donald J. Trump will be taken into a bunker, most likely Raven Rock or NORAD headquarters in Colorado Springs, where he will subsequently be tortured and assassinated, after which they will say that he died of a heart attack or some medical condition, or that he was killed in the attack. And then one J.D. Vance will become president of the United States. So exactly what type of attack or terror event is planned obviously is not known, but I'm going to list a few different scenarios which I've identified in the last week or so, last couple days or week, and so we can extrapolate from these particular plots that I've identified that the CIA is planning on doing something in this neighborhood. So in respect to Russia, a false flag Ukrainian, Russian attack in Ukraine, possibly targeting schools or Jewish-related entities. And it's imperative to know, before I go through this little list I have here, that these are going to be chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear in nature, because the goal here is to trigger World War III and or a second global biological pandemic. So a Russian-backed attack targeting Ukrainian schools or Jewish-related entities. This may be versus the Russian mercenary groups such as the Wagner Battalion, or Russia-backed ISIS terrorists, or it could be Russian armed forces. I just identified a Russian-backed terror plot targeting the Intrepid Museum in New York City. So another Russian-backed attack, likely featuring Ukrainian troops targeting a U.S. military installation or museum in the United States or abroad is expected. A Russian nuclear ICBM attack targeting the USS Harry Truman, which is currently in the Red Sea. In the aftermath of identifying this, the CIA may target another ship with an alleged Russian nuclear missile attack or torpedo attack. A Russia-backed drone attack targeting the White House or the U.S. Capitol, or a Russian offensive in Caracas, where the CIA is in the process of staging a coup. In respect to China, I've identified plots featuring a Chinese drone swarm attack targeting Okinawa, the U.S. military bases in Okinawa, Japan, a cyber attack targeting the United States, or a Chinese nuclear missile strike targeting Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico, where the United States fixes their nuclear weapons, obviously resulting in an apocalyptic mushroom cloud. In respect to Iran, I just published a report for tomorrow, January 24th of 2025, which is featuring an Iran-backed Islamic terror attack targeting the Washington Commanders' facilities in Virginia, likely culminating in a 9/11 style nuclear terror attack. There's also the possibility that they will stage an Iranian-backed attack targeting the New York subway, or stage Iranian hijackings of airliners and/or airports in Cuba, Mexico, or South America. Just identified a plot of a 9/11 style helicopter attacks targeting multiple locations in Israel, an Iranian naval attack targeting the Pantex nuclear weapons base in Texas, and an Iranian attack targeting New Orleans. In respect to Pakistan, I just identified plots slated for tomorrow, January 24th, targeting Jewish-related entities in New York City, Heathrow Airport in London, and previously I identified a Pakistani plot targeting the Taj Mahal in India. Also identified a Pakistan-backed Al-Qaeda Islamic terrorist hijack of Pakistan's nuclear weapons as pretext for an ICBM attack targeting the apartheid state of Israel. In respect to North Korea, I just published a report for a North Korean-backed terrorist targeting multiple airports in South Korea, and previously a North Korean nuclear attack, ramming attack targeting the DMZ zone, as well as a nuclear ICBM attack targeting Las Vegas. There's also the possibility that the CIA will stage some sort of Iran or Russia or Pakistan-backed Islamic terror attack featuring Al-Qaeda, ISIS, the Taliban, etc. And this will predictably be Cbrn in nature. It may happen in Israel, Syria, Turkey, Europe, or the Middle East, or the United States, or even Asia. There's also the possibility, since Trump was sworn into office on January 20th of 2025, that the CIA will stage so-called revenge attacks in the aftermath of Trump being sworn in, possibly featuring a woke mind virus by some sort of disenfranchised woke college professor. AIM, that's American Indian Movement, Native American-based attacks, possibly 9/11 style anti-abortion or pro-abortion attacks, possibly targeting abortion clinics or government-related entities, as well as border crossings where Trump is attempting to seal the border and/or ICE-related facilities. So anyways, obviously, in the event that the CIA stages one of these events, it's imperative to note that it's going to happen in some sort of a successive manner whereby Trump is never going to be allowed to handle this crisis himself because so there's a possibility, for example, if the CIA stages a false flag Russian, Iranian, or Chinese attack on the United States, that the CIA will stage the attack, kill Trump, and then stage an event, a retaliatory attack by Trump. Let's say, for example, if this attack that's slated for tomorrow, featuring an Iranian attack targeting the Washington Commanders' facilities in Virginia, if this were to go forward, for example, and Iran seizes this is going to be the Israeli special forces, obviously, but they're going to be masquerading as Iranians. And let's say it happens and it's a prolonged siege, then they would say that Trump nuked Iran, and then Trump would be dead, or they would produce some sort of deep fake or fraudulent video of him, and then they would kill him off later in reality. So that's a real possibility. It's also imperative to note that if the CIA stages a Russian-based attack in Ukraine, Europe, or the United States, it will most likely be executed via Russian-speaking Ukrainian troops, most likely the Azov Battalion. In the event that the CIA stages a Chinese attack in Taiwan, in Asia, in the United States, it will most likely be executed by Chinese-speaking Taiwanese troops. In the event that the CIA stages an Iranian-backed attack in Israel, the Middle East, Europe, or the United States, it will most likely be executed by Israeli special forces, the dark ones. And in the event that the CIA stages some sort of ISIS-backed attack, it will most likely be featuring Israeli terrorists from the IDF or Mossad. So this is how the CIA works. They always balkanize different regions around the world, and they use one side against the other. And so that's what's to be expected. And these particular attacks are designed to destabilize the Trump administration in its infancy and to derail the peace talks that are currently lined up, to basically get to a point where they can a martial law or a Defcon level event where martial law is declared, and that they can suspend the democratic process in America. And it's highly likely, as I mentioned earlier, that Trump would be eliminated in this process in the aftermath of this attack, possibly under the guise of attack or a secondary attack. And that's why it would be like killing two birds with one stone, essentially. They would be able to stage attack and get rid of Trump at the same time. And this would likely happen in some sort of an event, made for TV event, possibly on the date of January 24th, as I previously mentioned, or the date of January 26th, which is the NFL divisional championship. So this is for the two games on Sunday, January 26th, for who goes to the Super Bowl. In the AFC, it's the Bills versus the Chiefs, and in the NFC, it is the let's see, slipping my mind right now, but anyways, so we have the NFC game and the AFC game, and these are going to be, aside from the Super Bowl, they're going to be the highest rated television games of the year. And that's why back in January 28th of 2011, I published the Nuclear Bible about a false flag nuclear attack targeting the Super Bowl, because that is the most watched event in the year, and the CIA always stages events when people are watching. So obviously praying for peace. So in the event that the CIA stages any events prior or during the Super Bowl, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.